No, I'm not.
Oh, well, I thought you were anyway. So, okay, back again. Just a little update on some of the first things I talked about in those previous videos. Still looking for an attorney. Man, it's been extremely hard to find an attorney to help with these kinds of things. But to go back to the eviction during COVID, right? So I went and I got the transcripts, thinking that'd be extremely helpful, and well, it was. Did a lot of research for this. Like, before an eviction can be filed, for one, you're supposed to get like a 10-day notice to fix whatever it is that you've done to violate the lease or the agreement. I was never. Remember, I told you the first time, it took me by surprise completely. I was never notified that I was even doing anything wrong, and if I was behind in payment at all, it was extremely minimal. This is my family. This shouldn't have been an issue at all, in my opinion. But regardless, that was their reason. Like, we got the paperwork. Their reason for eviction was non-payment. Now, why there's some issues with this? Well, for one, even though they didn't give me that chance to fix it and make a payment or whatever, because I didn't even know I was behind, somehow I already had. We literally had filled out that federal grant, myself, my aunt, my uncle, which is crazy. That's my family, but it was my tenant, landlords. And anyway, that in itself would have taken care of that 10-day notice, warning, whatever it is you're supposed to get. And they shouldn't have even taken me to court to begin with. Regardless, go to court. Like I said, they really didn't. It's like they had made their mind up before I even got in there. I go in there.
Because your uncle's a police
they
officer.
ask me if I'm behind on rent, and I tell them I may be. I don't know. How far behind on rent am I supposedly? And but I tell them I have this copy of the federal grant right here in front of me. I would like you to look at it, and they kept telling me no, we don't need to look at that. Well, that's wrong on their part, because that is literally the entire part of an eviction process, is to look at the evidence from both people to make the decision. And I was there with a stack of papers with the executive orders, with the
text messages
that were talking about me paying on time, the moratorium, right?
Mm-hmm.
The CDC's moratorium, the dates of which it covered tenants to not be evicted during COVID, and the process that you had to go through to make sure you weren't. Like, I didn't even know that process, but now that I've looked at it, I actually absolutely did that process and was way ahead of that process because it had already been approved. Mm-hmm. So then they go on to say, I go on to ask them, well, how? I'm trying to pay them. They're going to be paid for an entire year.
Yeah.
This is like set in stone. And the sitting judge says, well, they don't have to accept your payments. Now, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So if anyone violated the lease, it would have been them, honestly, because they're saying they don't have to accept my payments. But there's no other reasons
for the eviction.
The literal reason on there says...
The whole premise of the
whole purpose of it was non-payment, which not only were they being paid, but they're going to be paid for a year. So I sit here and try to show them that. I try to show them all of those things, and they literally would not look at them until they already made their decision and kicked me out in 48 hours. This is just insane to me. And then looking at this, I sat there and literally tried multiple times to get them to look at my evidence, which is something that they are supposed to look at. Like, listen, literally
take it into consideration.
I literally have printed evidence here that is going to show you I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, that they refused to look at until after they made their decision. So then I get these transcripts. I even go up to the courthouse today and listen to it, which there were some things, because people were yelling over each other in there. I never did. I was extremely polite, but the landlord and his attorney were basically yelling half of the time, so hyped up about getting me out of this house for whatever reason. And toward the very end, they finally were like, okay, well, you can bring these papers up here now, right? So all of the evidence that I had, even though they'd already made their decision, me being the person I am, I still, I'm being righteous. I want them to see that I'm not I'm not doing whatever it is they say. So I give those to them, you know. Well, they should have those documents somewhere, just like they have this transcript, just like they have all of that. And when I asked for that, guess what? It was destroyed, you know. So conveniently, the evidence I had back then, which I can go and get this evidence again, but conveniently it was destroyed.
It's just gonna be a pain in the butt to do it now. Yeah,
it's it's insane to me. Like, why is it so...
The corruption.
The corruption, and why is it so hard for people who deserve justice to get justice? Like, it's called the justice system.
Right.
You know, it's supposed to be... It doesn't just work one way.
It's supposed to work for us.
Right, it's supposed to work for us. It's supposed to help us. Justice is not just for the people who are in charge, you know what I mean? Like, I need justice in this situation. Like, I'm sure there are probably countless others who need the same thing. This just needs... It needs attention, everybody. Like, I know you can probably see how crazy it is because of the stuff that's happening in the world right now, you know, and in Minneapolis and how crazy it is there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's upsetting. It's disappointing that, like, this is the United States of America. It should not be this hard to be honorable and to do
the right thing.
Yeah. It just blows my mind. I feel like I was basically robbed, and I was. You know what I mean? Like, I invested in a home for 3 years. It was supposed to be my forever home, and, you know, no, and I'm obviously moving forward and moving on in my life, but I truly feel like this is something that needs to be seen, and it needs to be heard, and people need to know what's actually going on. Anyway, man. Thankful and grateful for the life I have now. Thankful and grateful to be out of jail. Thankful and grateful for this beautiful woman here. And just definitely moving forward in a very, very positive mindset and light, no matter what. But I truly believe that these kind of things need to be put out into the open for people to see. You know, just like the fact that I was literally illegally incarcerated for 91 days. I know I mentioned that in an earlier video. But you would think that would be something that would be pretty easy to get compensated for, or for it to not happen. It should just not happen.
No.
It's just, you know, if anyone has any ideas on attorneys or someone who can help, you know, that would be great, because it has been a freaking process, man.
Yeah.
I've got so much proof here of the things that they've done wrong. I just need an attorney, someone who really knows the legal aspects of this to help me file it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all we really need.
Anyway, appreciate y'all. See you later.